Hello everybody. Last summer Thomas was interviewing me about my UFO sightings, so I thought I was going to return the favor, right, and turn the camera right back at him.
First of all, I want to say thank
Yeah,
you
sure.
because you want to do this.
Yeah, of course.
So it's always good to you're a good friend, and it's always good to have someone to talk to about all these things. And
Of course, there's always people like me and Thomas that just won't shut up for reasons that may elude somebody. But actually, I had prepared a long interview, and we just were talking just 5 minutes ago about how we were going to do this, and it has taken a bit of a turn, but let's just start with some of my notes I have here. Well, Thomas,
yes.
Why are you interested in UFOs?
Why am I interested in UFOs? I had my first weird encounters or sighting when I was a child. I had a lot of sightings and encounters.
Yes.
I think this as a child, and one of the first I remember where I saw something flew by me just above my head was when I was about, it's many years now, 8, 9, 10 years old, just about that age, and I was walking home from a good friend of mine in a city called Kalundborg in Denmark, and when I was walking home I was passing by some old castle ruins from the Middle Age that is in the central city. And there was the ruins that was the leftovers of some giant outer walls. There was, and these the rest of those walls were about 3 meters, maybe 2-3 meters tall. It's many years ago now. And when I was passing these ruins and these walls were about 2-3 meters from the sidewalk, suddenly this light appears from the wall, and just slowly was rising up from behind the wall, and I was like, wow, what the fuck is that? And that light was just hanging there, and it was like a big ball of white light. It was not blinding me, but it was very powerful white light, and I got this feeling that something was watching me, just like when someone is standing in front of you with a camera and recording you or filming you, and it was just hanging there for about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, and then it would slowly rise a little bit higher above the wall and in front of the sidewalk where I was, and this ball of light, it expanded itself, and in the middle of this ball of light, this square hole, black hole, just suddenly appears, and I was just a little child, and this was very weird for me because I didn't know what it was, and how to a boy that's 9 years old explain what he saw when he don't know what he saw. That's not an easy task.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, this white ball of light expanded, and this black rectangular hole appeared in the middle, and when this hole appeared, it was like some sort of a door that was open, but I could not see in through the door, and this square hole just closed down again, and then this ball of light just slowly raised up, and then just say phew, and it disappeared up in the air with a non-human speed. It accelerated in a way that is impossible to explain. That was very fast, and when this light started to raise up and then just suddenly flew up in the air with enormous speed, I got scared because I didn't know what to do. So I think it was a natural reaction for a child that's 9 years old. What would you do?
You ran like hell.
I ran, and I ran all the way home. I was just 800 meters from home, and I ran all the way home, all that I could, into my mom and said, Mom. And before I could explain her what I see, the first thing she said to me, well, here have you been, boy? You should have been home 2 hours ago. And at the time I didn't know what she meant, because I know I left half an hour before. I actually should leave my friend's house.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
and I started to explain to her, Mom, I saw this light at the ruins down there, and it was hovering about me, and it just said, whew, and you know, and
Yeah.
imagine an overexcited little child has to explain something to his mom, and I couldn't get the words out in the proper way.
Yeah.
And she didn't understand half of what I said, because I was speaking so fast and telling everything
Yeah.
that happened in one time.
Yeah. So,
My mom said one of her comments was, so you have tried that one too, and I didn't know what she meant, but later in life I realized she had the same experience.
yeah.
It was first later in my mind that I realized what she meant with you should have been home 2 hours ago,
Yeah.
because I was 2 hours too late home.
Yeah.
We had a deal about 5 o'clock, and I was home about 7 o'clock in the evening, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the clock was 7. I was still thinking, oh, it's 4:30 or something, because
Yeah.
I just left my friend's home.
So-
So that was an very weird experience, and
Yeah.
I really wish that I had a video camera at the time.
Yeah,
That
sure.
would have been worth recording, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That is why when I grew up and got older, I started to have this interest in these phenomena. At the time, I didn't knew the word UFO. I didn't know what a UFO was or what it meant. But I learned it shortly after, when we started talking with this, me and my mom and my stepdad, what was it that happened that day, and other people came to me and asked me if I could explain to them what was it I saw and what was it that happened
Yeah.
to me exactly that day. And then I learned the word UFO. I didn't knew what it meant, but I learned the word. So
Yeah.
I was talking about UFOs in the school at about when I was about 10
Yeah.
years
Okay.
old.
So
And
you
then,
had a lot of these sightings?
I had a few of them, yes.
I can talk to people, and they may at most recognize one UFO sighting throughout their entire life, and it has not been something that they have they think about that much. It has not been, it may just have been a satellite or something that was very distant in the horizon. Why are you experiencing so much UFOs?
But I also think that one of the reasons too, and many people might only have one or two experiences in their life, is very simple, and I cannot give a statement on it. It's just a thought, but I think many people need to do one simple thing, and that's looking up instead of looking forward at other people what's going. I think many people, if you go out and drive your car at night, you look at the road, you're focused. Many people are thinking, what am I going to do tomorrow? I don't earn enough for money for a week, and they have a lot of problems going on in their mind. The wife want to leave them, or the kids are stupid. The neighbor, they're fighting with the neighbors, and thoughts in their mind. People don't look up. They are focusing on what is necessary for them, and I think that's a big part of why many people might only see one or two of those sightings in their life, unless they're just right in front of them and they can't miss it. You know what I mean?
Yes, I believe I do.
Yes.
And of course, this is also why it is so necessary to talk about. And of course, with Peter Robbins, I saw a lecture with him a couple of years ago, when he was he's a famous UFO researcher, and he has people in his family, they tell him, okay, you make your point, there are a mystery here, there might be visitations to our planets, Okay, then let's go on. But it's not so simple, because the profound implication on our civilization and our role in the universe and our notion of reality is at stake here, because if someone wants our attention, if something is engaging us in some level, we have an obligation to study this and to evolve to a level where we can cope with this, because the importance is never ending.
They also have to believe.
Yeah.
It's not enough just to look up. You also have to believe
Yes.
that there is possibility.
You have to believe that this reality we are staging for ourselves and each other is maybe a smaller reality of a much bigger reality. Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that what I call normal people, and that's a positive word, normal people. And normal people don't understand what I've been through, and most of them can't handle that truth that I have been experience and talking about. For them that's just fantasy, and that's just far out imagination, because they haven't got the tools in their head or their minds to handle those information that I can bring them.
Okay, so. But I get you, and I think it's very well put out. And but you talk about we are all we have a part to play in this. There are several encounters, and there are several reports. Of course, there are many reports. There's a report from the 50s where a pilot called Milton Torres, he is engaging, he's a jet fighter, and he's engaging some kind of exotic object. When he speaks about his account, he has no doubt in his voice that the maneuvers it's exhibiting over the England airspace is so profoundly exotic and cannot be attributed to earthly technology, and he believes that it's alien. But what I was telling you, he was ordered to shoot it down, and actually throughout many UFO sightings are being witnessed, says that they are being chased allegedly by jet fighters. And what do you think about this? Why are they chasing UFOs?
I don't see UFOs as a threat to us as a human species. I believe they are here because we are here. If we weren't here, they wouldn't be here either. I do believe some of them are actually looking after us and taking care and making sure that Russia or don't bomb USA with a nuclear weapon, and the other way, USA don't fire any nuclear weapons in Afghanistan, Iraq, wherever. I think you remember Robert Hastings and the whole story about Robert Hastings and the nuclear facility, and Larry Warren also. We both met Larry Warren and talked to him personally, and the story about the former nuclear facility. And I had a friend in Sweden talking about the same military facility where this UFO was seen from.
Well, of course, what I wanted to. Where I wanted to end up, and yet again I failed miserably. But for people, they always talk about, well, why don't they land on the White House lawn and so. But if there are some shadow government that seems to not be interested that there will be an interaction with this phenomenon, then well, they're probably not gonna land anywhere. And
Why land somewhere where you know you've been shot at? And Chile has UFO offices where the people can come with their reports and their sightings and their pictures, and they might not get an explanation for what they saw, but they can leave their reports in a place where everything is gathered together, and as I said before, in a public place, not at some internet site where a guy or two is sitting behind him, and after that they just talk about hot air balloons and rice lamp and swamp cats and bad farts, and you know.
Yeah, sure, sure.
I'm really surprised that Chile went out with that, and France have been talking about doing the same also. Cheers for that, France. Join the club, and I hope that we in Denmark can have, or Scandinavia can have a UFO office that's not driven by private persons, as we know it from now. Where you can deliver your report without being told that you have only seen a hot air balloon when you know you haven't seen a hot air balloon, you know. So thank you, Chile and France for taking those steps forward, a disclosure, or getting closer to a disclosure, yes.
Yeah. We could sit here and speculate and try to fill in the gaps, you know, and we could do the same thing when Bob Lazar came out in the late 80s or in the 1990, and we could say the same things. We're not getting anywhere. It's status quo. What do you think we have to do to progress in this?
I think it's a part of a human development. I think we all have to develop ourselves into a state where we have a capability to understand a little bit more. I don't think that the world would be able to handle a full disclosure just like that. I don't think the world would be able to handle if USA or Russia or France or some of the other big countries. Disclosure take years, many years, and people have to get used to the word and terms UFO. They have to get used to the terms aliens. Yeah. So I think we have to develop ourselves to understand that these things are present, and this is not just about UFO flying disc or aliens that are flying around.
But do you think we are we at least moving in the right direction? Because
yes, I do.
You think?
Yes, I do. And when we had the YouTube, two things happened. The first thing was the bad thing, and the bad thing was all the CGI and the fake things that came out, and people making money on fake things.
Yeah.
And that's the bad thing. And the good thing was the 1% that was real was now in a capability to get out to everybody. Yeah. Every single person on the whole planet Earth, as long as they have an internet connection, you know.
Yeah.
That was where one of my roles in my life would be to tell about my experiences, to make people open themselves up, to help people go on to the next step and say, yes, we do want to talk about this, we want to open up, and one of the roles I think I am playing too is also to make people open up and tell them about their experiences, and make them come forward.
So no questions asked. You've been close to the phenomenon.
Very much.
Very close. All right. Well,
yeah.
Maybe that's an interview for another time. Well, Thomas, let's wrap it up then.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for the interview.
Thank you for you wanna interview me.
Of course.
It has been fun, and I hope we can do it again another time.
I would like that.
Yes, me too. Thank you, Rune.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.